Welcome back to episode 6 of the DNF Duo. I'm Sangeeta.
I'm Anjali, and we have a special guest. Say hi.
Get me off now. Please, someone help me.
So Anjali, what a weekend last week's race was, the Monaco Grand Prix. What was supposed to be a really incredibly boring race turned out to be absolutely exciting. We had a lot of things that happened. 7 DNFs that took place, multiple safety cars, a lot of
Restart.
Yes. Well, Monaco did deliver one of the most unpredictable races of the season. It did bring back, the fire in every driver's eyes, despite them facing a DNF. So I'm quite excited to dive in and discuss.
Yeah, I felt like I expected it to be a very boring weekend because,
you're ready to leave halfway.
Yeah, I'm like, because we do know that the race is basically defined by how well you qualify.
Yeah, agreed.
So qualifying is the day kind of a thing. If you're going to go to the Monaco GP, I personally would be there 100% for qualifying because qualifying is where all the action happens. But this Monaco GP surprised me.
It surely did. Based on your predictions last week, you did say that Kimi might end up at P2, but he did end up surprising us in qualifying as well and the main race. Well, he basically secured his maiden position of taking up pole in qualifying. We did have Max securing.
Max was fast. Max was really quick.
Momentarily.
Momentarily. But for qualifying, it was, we both watched it, okay? That Q3 was intense.
Insane.
It was really intense. It was like we had, Lewis at...
I got scared. Jesus. I was like, wait, the door is opening. I was like, which Angkat Ponti is coming in? Okay.
Like I was saying, we had Lewis who was on... we had Lewis first that was on provisional pole.
Yes.
Then we got Leclerc on provisional pole. Then we got Max on provisional pole. And then, of course, finally we got Kimi Antonelli taking away that pole position.
He definitely did. One of the early chaos that took place is like the 22 cars on the tightest circuit in the world. So you would think like the drivers who are up the grid, they definitely have an advantage. But traffic was definitely a nightmare from the get-go. Max Verstappen was the last to join the track, but he somehow pulled his magic of being the Flying Dutchman on the Monaco Grand Prix.
Flying Dutchman.
And we did have Isaac Hajar, who was already fuming on the radio complaining about his car being the worst prep ever. Let's talk about Isaac.
I don't have words because at first in the earlier races he wasn't really he DNF'd and all that and stuff. But I feel like this weekend he really held it together and he brought it home. He was able to... Where did he qualify again?
He qualified at 5.
That is amazing to qualify P5. Actually, that's really good because I think at the end of it, the top 5 was basically it was Antonelli,
We had
Verstappen, Lewis, Leclerc, and then Antonelli. Hajar. So that's good. That P5 is good because prior to this, all the other races he was either DNFing and he was just not enjoying it, and everybody was going around throwing the, oh my god, the second Red Bull seat curse. So to see him in top 5 this week is
very impressive.
Very impressive, very spectacular. We will get into his struggles during the race later.
Yes.
But for qualifying, it was good that he made it top 5.
The first person to get out of Q1 was Valtteri Bottas. And also it was Sergio Perez. Ocon was also out. Oli Bearman. Quite a number. Both Aston Martins, Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso were out.
Even Bortoleto, right? I think he had a crash within Q1 itself. So I was just like... I can't imagine being the driver and then you're literally just coming out for qualifying and then you're just in the wall.
Hey, Monaco is a bit tough, okay? That's one thing I have to say. It's not easy.
It is. It's really not easy. And like I said, the action happens during qualifying.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And speaking of action, we had some unsafe release drama right out the gate. We had Williams, who almost released Sainz.
That's fine. Almost released Sainz.
I was thinking about the singer. Saint Laurent. Okay. Right out the bat, Williams almost released Carlos directly into the path of Verstappen. despite no further investigations, I mean, you can imagine the heart rate in the pit lane.
We are laughing because my cat is right over there being made to dance.
She's doing the Brazilian dance, but but
I didn't know about that unsafe release.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That happened.
Okay.
That happened. And in terms of Kimi Antonelli, he was flying, throwing down a 1 minute and a 12.7 gap to the field. Meanwhile, his teammate George Russell was honestly visibly struggling even in qualifying and the main race. There's a lot of debate of saying, like, is he the second seat race curse? Hey, why am I messing up?
Second seat. Okay, you know what? Forget it. At this one, you get what we
Instant loading sign.
Yeah, you get what we mean, right? Is he now being pushed to be the second driver? And priority
She was
not
supposed to be
given?
first, but now.
Yeah, but then now priority is not given. We never know.
But Verstappen did fire back to the top session with a similar timing as well, with 1 minute 12.4. But he did have to keep an eye out for Hajar, sitting an eye-catching P3 in other than Red Bull. But in Q2, Alex Albon was out, and then we had Carlos, Nico Hulkenberg, and Franco Colapinto and Arvid Lundblad, who was out in Q2 for qualifying. I feel like Monaco was quite brutal in qualifying itself, and then the main race. A lot of the drivers were struggling to maintain their positions. Is it just Monaco itself?
And also, I guess it is because it's so difficult to overtake in Monaco, guys.
It's so hard.
It's so difficult to overtake. Like, how do you do it? It is, like I said, I've never really looked forward to Monaco. I know it's all the glitz and the glam, but I've never really looked forward to Monaco because I feel like it can get boring. But like I mentioned, this weekend did not disappoint.
Which we'll dive into the race very shortly. Diving into Q3, we had Antonelli laying down the initial benchmark, and then Verstappen somehow out of nowhere just matched his timing.
At one point, right, I remember I was showing you earlier, Verstappen was off of Kimi Antonelli's time by 1,000 of a second.
Which is
like
absolutely
0.001. And I'm like, wait, no, that can't be right. That's not right.
Sorry, I lost my voice, guys.
And then you have I think it was Hamilton after that, and he's like 0.1 something. I'm like
0.2, I think.
I'm like, these numbers do not add up.
No. Whatever Mercedes has done to the car is
I don't understand.
No comment.
And then also the fact that I don't know what the Red Bulls have done for that gap to be between
they were struggling.
the both of them. I'm like, y'all were struggling in the beginning of the year, and now you're just like, hi, I'm
here.
right here.
We have arrived.
Oh.
I mean, we did have Charles Leclerc aborting his first run due to the traffic on the Monaco Grand Prix. He did briefly snatch provisional pole.
Yeah.
Right? And it was Max and Kimi Antonelli as well. But, a lot of Leclerc's fans were sent into absolute hysterics because provisional pole is pretty good.
And it's his home race.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were rooting for Charles Leclerc to win this race as well.
And get pole position, but unfortunately, we don't know what are in the Mercedes, in the cars, honestly, at this point. I really don't know what kind of rocket ship is in there.
We did not know what to expect, right? I mean, for a moment, you thought the Ferraris were going to be a 1-2, and then Kimi's just out there.
And Max is out there. It's like, because like I just mentioned earlier, first it was Hamilton that got provisional pole, then it was Leclerc, then it was Verstappen, then Antonelli's like, nah, y'all calm down. It's gonna be me.
It's
and
gonna
he's
be
just
me.
there. Yeah, literally. He's just like, nah, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. It's me.
Literally, but I do want to give a shout out to Verstappen going faster to take P1, but Antonelli completely tears up the timesheets, as what Anjali mentioned prior, beating Max by a mere 0.043 seconds. That kid I personally feel, is set to win his first championship.
Definitely, at this point.
But then again, Formula One is unpredictable. You never know what's going to take place. But the final twist of Q3 for qualifying is that Leclerc tried one last desperation run to take pole back, but he did push pretty hard and ended up, stopping. And the session was over.
And he actually hit the barrier as well.
If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned something about the brakes, Anjali. Was it the qualifying or the race? for
Oh,
Ferrari.
that was in race.
Race. Okay,
We will discuss that later.
Okay, we'll dive into that. Sorry, it just popped up.
It's okay.
It just popped up. But the final standings for qualifying, we had a top 5 grid, which is
Kimi,
Mhm.
Verstappen,
Mhm.
Hamilton, Leclerc, Hajar.
top 5.
Okay, top 5. I
Top
thought you
5.
asked me top 10.
Yeah,
I was just about to be like,
top 5. But great start for the qualifying grid, finishing grid especially. But I do want to say that Antonelli called it a magic lamp,
yes, he did.
right? And it really was.
It was crazy. And just to hear him on the radio with Bono, right? I was just like, oh my god, he's so excited. He's so happy.
Mhm.
It is like such a ecstatic feeling to feel. And I'm sure Bono himself is just there like, yes, like it's I'm even like I wonder if Bono gets flashbacks of like Lewis.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he does. I mean,
You know when Lewis first joined Mercedes and like whenever if and when he did something like amazing like this, I wonder if like now when Kimi does it, Bono's there like, man, I remember it was with Lewis.
I think Bono was thinking of a term like he had hammer time for Lewis, right?
Mm-mm-mm.
What would Kimi's be?
Exactly. What would Kimi's
That's something to think about. But I can imagine Kimi calling it a magic lap. Definitely amazing run. Being under pressure with Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton behind you, that kid is off to do great things. Honestly, such a legendary rookie behavior.
I cannot wait to see what he's gonna do in the next races.
Yeah, but we'll dive into that really soon.
Yes,
really soon. But yeah, that basically sums up our take on the qualifying for the
Monaco GP.
Exactly. Now we're gonna jump into the main race. 7 DNFs, a lot of safety cars, a restart. Don't know where the British accent came from. It just
That's why I just swallowed
I feel
it.
like Crofty.
Welcome back to the DNF Duo. We're covering the Monaco Grand Prix main race. What turned out to be sort of a boring race.
Sort of.
At the start.
A lot of unexpected things took place. It was definitely a lot of underrated pure chaos. 7 DNFs that we had with Carlos
7 is
Sainz,
crazy.
Leclerc, we had Oli Behrman, Lando Norris, Verstappen, Bottas. I'm forgetting one more, but that's okay. There were 7, all right? I don't want to name all of them. But it was definitely, I would say Monaco delivered one of the most unpredictable races of the season. With amidst the madness and everything, Kimi Antonelli proved himself yet again to be at the top.
I won't be surprised if the next race also he's just there like, hi guys, what's up?
There is no doubt. I mean, because Kimi is leading the championship at the moment,
Yeah.
and then we have Lewis Hamilton at the second position.
Which is crazy, by the way. It is actually insane that just because of one race,
Oh my god.
he went up from being number 4 to being number 2.
Mhm.
And that is also solely because, like, as we said, Leclerc unfortunately DNF.
Yes.
George Russell was out of points because of that whole fiasco with his penalties and not serving it when he was in the pits, which I still don't get, by the way. I don't understand. They should have brought him in and just been like, serve it, just be done with
Definitely.
it. And because of that, he got another penalty.
Mm.
So hence the no points,
Mhm.
which was very unfortunate. I can't imagine the frustration George Russell might be having, because I would be frustrated.
I think Russell and Leclerc are possibly sitting on the same boat right now.
Yes.
But I do want to talk about the start of the race, the disaster that took place for Verstappen. Just like you predicted in the last episode, you said Red Bull might have some issues. Look where we are.
Do you know when I saw that happen, right? My predictions video came back and I was just having a moment of, oh my god. Like, I expected issues. I did not think the man would DNF before even making it to the first freaking turn.
Didn't even get to start.
Yeah. And he was so calm about it. Like, in the after race interview, he was just like, oh yeah, I'm just like, I think he's mentioned he's like staying 500 meters away.
Yeah.
I'm going home. I'm like, it was a very Kimi Raikkonen move where I can't remember which year in Monaco. I think he crashed and he just went to his yacht, sitting there in just his like swim shorts, and he's just chilling. And I'm like, what the hell?
You know what? If I was Verstappen, I would have done the same thing too.
100%.
But he was quite frustrated. I mean, you had 21 cars past you at the start. A lot of fans were also rooting for Max to like have a pretty strong start at the Monaco Grand Prix. But
Even with where he qualified on top of that. Like, he worked so hard to get I mean, of course, during qualifying, he definitely wanted to get pole position. But then he was so quick. He was quicker than the Ferraris. And then he made it to P2. And then for you not even to get to race the race, basically, it must be so frustrating. He must be like, is this for real?
Oh my god, it was so sad. I mean, I'm sorry. I just felt like the fact that you actually said the Red Bulls are gonna have issues was insane, and it was.
And then, like I said, that when it happened, I was just like, maybe I should have kept quiet.
Perhaps, but no, don't.
Maybe I shouldn't have
because
said that.
We love Anjali's predictions. I mean, obviously, with Max gone, Lewis and Charles Leclerc had a pretty strong start at the start of the race, chasing second and third. Antonelli was obviously leading the race, who honestly executed the start of it pretty flawlessly.
Both times.
I say.
Both times. I mean, you know, right, that they had to red flag the race for a bit, and then when they restarted, even in the after race interview, Kimi and Antonelli openly said, like, I was looking at Lewis next to me and I'm like, I can't mess this up because Lewis is right there, you know. So I feel like Kimi really raced an amazing race.
did.
Like, he is very like we mentioned this in our previous videos, he has a champion's mindset, because
Definitely.
there is no doubt that, yes, no doubt his car is quick, he's quick, but that pressure of, you know, you can literally almost like any wrong move now,
Yeah.
you could
that's it.
possibly bottle your championship.
Yeah.
You know, I know like there is a gap to him and Lewis, there's like about 60 something or
About
so,
126.90.
but any point if you bottle it, it's like a domino effect. You could like
Good lord.
mess with your mentality of
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I bottled this race, what's gonna happen in the next.
Yeah.
It's like if you're on the trajectory of just continuously doing good,
Mm-hmm.
you will be able, like, it's not impossible, it's so possible now. But
I agree.
yeah, but at the same time, you did say that it's possible for Lewis to win his eighth.
I was highlighting previously during our episode that given the fact that Lewis right now is standing at P2 on the championship positioning. Look, I'm just being delusional, okay? If you followed Lewis throughout the years,
No, it is the solution, being Delula.
okay, there's a saying that when Lewis has a partner, he performs.
Yeah.
Or a friend, who knows? Anyway,
Friend, yeah. Friend.
special friend. No, but obviously we're here to talk about the sport. You know, the sport.
And also,
Is,
like, we have seen every time he does change teams,
Yeah.
the moment he gets into his second year in that team,
Yes.
he wins his
Yes.
championship. It happened.
Exact, Samantha.
It happened in McLaren.
Yeah.
It happened in Mercedes. And the fact that now he's second, right? I would have. That was wild. Like, I couldn't believe just one individual race got him from being number 4 to being number 2.
Exactly. So, like I said, anything is possible. We are only halfway through the year and we have multiple races ahead of us. You never know what might take place. Yes, it would be amazing to see Kimi win his first championship, but also you just you don't know what is on the table, what are on the cards for Sir Lewis Hamilton.
How would you feel if he actually won his 8th this year?
Yeah.
I mean, we are the DNF duo. We can no filter. So how would you feel if like genuinely if he did?
Damn, you're gonna put me on the spot like
Yes. Do you think it's possible?
I do. But yeah, you might see my voice breaking. So that should tell you what it is. I think I'll probably cry. So, yeah. Tears of happiness this time. 'cause
Yeah,
you were there.
we know the pain.
But yeah, wow, you really put me in the Yes, it would be beautiful. I mean, like a great, I would say a great 28th birthday gift to me if it happens. Anyway, but also rooting for everybody. Am I though? I don't know. But yeah, what about you? How would you feel?
I would lose my shit. Yeah, I would lose it. I would be so happy because I feel that I don't think anybody would know the pain of what he experienced in 2021. As fans, we can be like, it was painful, but the most pain was him.
Yeah.
He endured it. He had to, after 2021, he like that last race in Abu Dhabi, he had to get out of that car, stand on the podium when he should have won. And that pain was something I guess he carried along for the longest time. And I think the most wholesome thing that I I recently saw on Twitter was that I think in one of his interviews this year, I can't remember which race, or it could have been just in the MONACO GP, I can't really remember. He did say that he mentioned a fan that told him to not forget who he
I was
is.
just about to say that.
And it happened in London, I
Yeah.
think. And ever since then, he has constantly reminded himself. And I felt like that was such a wholesome thing that as much as we as fans look up to him, he equally takes what we say to him so personally.
Yeah.
And I think collectively it would be such a big win for any
100%.
Lewis Hamilton fan.
100%. Even if you're not,
Even if you're not, I think it would be a big win.
everyone is gonna admire it, and yeah, wow, that would be an insane.
It
sight
would be
to see.
insane. I mean, come on, okay. I saw a podcast recently of Nico Rosberg, and he himself was asked, do you think Lewis deserves the 8th? He was like 100%.
110%.
And this is his rival teammate.
Oh my lord.
You know, so it's like it wouldn't just be something for the fans, for him. It would be a collective thing. Everybody would be so proud and so happy for him.
I would.
Yeah, that's where I see.
Truly.
Peace.
Yeah. I mean, if Hamilton did win the 8th title, wow.
Mm.
I'm just imagining it at this point.
I can't imagine what would happen in Maranello. They would lose their minds. They'd be like, he won his 8th with us, with Ferrari.
Well, you just never know at this point.
Yeah, you never know at
I
this
mean,
point.
Kimi could win his first. Lewis might win his 8th. It's. I honestly feel it's like a 50-50.
It's a big,
It's a big.
definitely.
On
A big question mark, because it all depends on how both of them
Yeah.
perform after this. And I can't remember where I heard on the radio, like not the radio, I was listening to a podcast on the way to work one of the days, and one of the, I can't remember which podcast it was, but they were discussing whereby if you talk about, put Lewis aside, we know he's second, but we're talking about Mercedes. It's Kimi and George now, and I think the statistics were that even if the next races George was to win every race and Kimi be second to third or something, Kimi would still win the championship.
He would.
So I have no clue.
You don't know at this point.
Yeah,
it's
like what George will have to do.
At this point, I'm like, race gods, do your thing. Just
Do your thing. But
don't cause us depression. Okay?
yeah,
No.
just don't do that.
But
But I feel for George Russell
Yeah,
now
yeah.
because I'm very sure he came into this year and thought like, nah, this is my year. And then like your younger teammate is just flooring it, smashing it.
I'm mashing it.
Yeah. George must be there like, what did I sign up for?
Nah, I think everyone will eventually have their moment, but Kimi is outperforming him a bit too well, must I say? Yeah.
Because you do know when your teammate does outperform you and like your contract is up for discussion.
Yes. Okay. Let's not get into that just yet.
Let's not get into that.
We'll save that for like November. Or
Yeah,
something.
let's talk about that later on. But that's something to remember.
I do want to dive into the late race chaos that happened. A lot of safety cars, a lot of red flags. With about 20 laps left to the race, we had Lance Stroll losing complete control, crashing straight into the barrier. I mean, quite a tough race for Aston Martin.
I just don't understand what's happening at Aston Martin because
Nobody does.
You literally have Mr. Adrian Newey there.
Nobody does understand what's happening.
Adrian Newey is there. He built the Red Bulls that had brought Sebastian Vettel's 4 world championships and Max Verstappen's 4 world championships. And I wonder if Adrian Newey is like, I should have just gone with Ferrari or I should have just stayed at Red Bull.
Perhaps, because nobody knows what's happening in Aston Martin. But it did with the whole crash that took place with Lance Stroll. It did allow the safety car to completely flip the script. A lot of drivers who had their time penalties with them, they used it to go to the pit lane to completely get rid of that penalty. I do want to also talk about Leclerc. That poor man cannot catch a break. But
I felt bad, okay?
I did. Nobody expected it.
I did not expect it because it was literally after the safety car.
And that's what they call the hometown curse. Once again.
And on top of that, he crashed the same place that Stroll did.
You see? Nothing good happens where Lance Stroll is. Anyway.
Yeah. And what was crazy is that Leclerc crashes, right? And then they red flag the race, and then you see all the FIA people, I don't know what their actual terms called, okay, the FIA representatives going there and like looking at the road like, problem.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, Are you for real? Like, are you serious right now? You could have seen that, like the moment Stroll crashed.
The moment Stroll crashed, but they waited until the second driver crashed for them to inspect and let the marshals go out there to do their job.
Yeah.
But yeah, damn.
When I saw the onboard that literally they had come out and then there was an instant yellow flag, I'm like, wait, did they just like, is our TV lagging? Like, I thought it was lagging.
I mean, it was lagging.
It was lagging already. And then I was like, it can't be lagging for that long. And then I see the onboard of just Charles Leclerc in the barrier. Like, I'm like, this is going to be a joke. Like, there's no way.
You know, in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, we call this mandi bunga.
Yeah,
So
so
maybe
maybe
Charles
Charles needs to go and
Need
like
some rose water, some lime, put a bit of black, but anyway.
just
You know,
shower.
Just shower with flowers, man. I think you need it.
It was so unfortunate. I felt, and then like, did you see how he just got out of the car after I went into his side of the garage and he was just losing his mind? I was like, oh, yo, poor Charles. Poor thing. He's just there like, why does this always happen to me?
No, I mean, his impact did damage the circuit quite a bit. You know,
It did.
so did they? I think, like what you said, they should have done it the second Stroll crashed. So the fact that they waited is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The fact that they waited, but that already set pretty high tensions for the Grand Prix in Monaco. A lot of things started unfolding right after these two crashes. The class impact did damage the circuit, and like what you mentioned, like why did they wait until two drivers crashed? I think they should have done it the second Stroll crash as
Because
well.
I think the second Stroll crash, you could already see the what do you call that, the debris, the grinding, whatever it is lah. You get what I mean? Okay, you could see that patch. We're just gonna call it patch. Okay, we're trying to make it as layman's terms as possible. So you could already see that. So I would have assumed like, when you yellow flag it, are you not gonna check?
Yeah,
You would have checked, and if it was
nobody
there,
waited.
yeah, fair enough. So
But Leclerc was actually having some brake problems.
he was actually having brake. He was complaining about his brakes throughout the whole weekend. So I like stumbled across a bunch of like articles after the race, because you see, I did like a comparison in the sense of that why was Leclerc struggling but Lewis was okay. He was not struggling as I don't think he was struggling on his brakes as much. So I did a little bit of a deep dive.
Investigation.
A little investigation. So I found out apparently, but it could be alleged, guys, okay? Allegedly, because Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton himself have not openly made this statement yet. But Leclerc has been complaining about his brakes. Lewis, on the other hand, has a really good setup, and his race, the Monaco GP was beautiful. So apparently, Lewis is using a different type of brakes from a different company, whereas Ferrari is always on Brembo brakes. And Lewis actually has been complaining about Brembo brakes since the time he joined last year. So after this race, Leclerc had said that he's going to go on Lewis's setup and what Lewis is set up. So it kind of confirms that Lewis is on a different brakes and not on Brembo. But again, because Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton himself have not openly said anything, I do not want to get sued, so it's alleged. Allegedly, guys.
Allegedly. Let's put that in a sentence right here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yes.
But I mean, that further proves that Lewis is on a different setup. So
a lot of frustrations, huh? This Monaco race brought up. I mean, definitely unexpected from our end, but damn, a lot of drivers had a tough time. I mean, valid now seeing Leclerc crash out after the post-race interview.
very valid, because I can only imagine, like, he's been in Ferrari for how many years? And Lewis is just on his second year, and he is now, given after this race, he's higher in the championship. So of course, Leclerc is going to be frustrated. But then at the same time, you have to also realize that your teammate is a 7-time world champion.
Exactly.
So he has more experience under his belt. So it's going to get difficult.
I mean, the chaos that happened in the second half of the race, it did allow a lot of reverted podiums to take place. So we had Pierre Gasly crossing third on the finish line. Initially, it was Isaac Hadjar, right?
Yeah.
But because
Alpine really fought for
Yes.
Gasly to get it. Yeah. So I think the news just came out today that the podium place is going to Pierre Gasly instead of Isaac Hadjar. I don't know why it took so long though. It took quite a couple of days, but I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now we have a back-to-back race, so I get that.
But it was nice to see Isaac on the podium.
I know, I was so excited because it's his first podium with Red Bull. So I was like, oh my god, okay, the curse is not really
Yeah.
valid anymore. And then now just like
But it's okay. At least he was on the podium.
He was on the
And He got
podium.
to celebrate. It's
yeah, he
alright,
got to
it's alright.
celebrate with
He had
his
his
favorite
moment.
driver,
Yeah,
Lewis.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a very cute moment.
I mean, after Haja, we did have Oscar Piastri rounding out the top 5, and George Russell did have a miserable Sunday, finishing outside the points after picking up heavy penalties, so giving Antonelli a massive lead in the Drivers' Championship. Alonso had a milestone. He managed to steer his Aston Martin into the 10th, so securing his very first points of the 2006 season.
Not bad. Okay. Given with how unpredictable the Aston Martins are, that is very good. I can imagine he's just like, finally,
Yeah.
thank you God,
Yeah.
thank you to the racing gods. But I do want to touch on one thing though,
Yes,
which
please.
I found was a bit hilarious. Did you all watch and see how the penalties were thrown out for speeding in the pit lane?
For Lewis, it was like
Yeah. And then for George Russell, it took a good 2 minutes. I was
longer
like,
than that. I think
yeah,
like five.
it was a bit longer.
They took their time.
They took their time, and I'm like,
I think for Lewis Hamilton, it was like a millisecond.
it was like a millisecond. Immediately there was a red flag, like there was a red thing, exclamation point on his name. I'm like, you'll be damn quick to, you don't do my driver dirty. And then the other drivers are there like,
Yeah.
when am I gonna get it? However, I just don't understand how there were so many penalties for speeding in the pit lane, and they were only going 0.01 kilometers per hour. 0.01.
1 kilometer per hour.
And you get penalized 5 seconds. They need to do okay, so we talked about this when we were watching the race with Kevin, and he said his input basically was that they should give a plus minus of 2, like plus minus of 2. So it could be if you're nothing above like 62 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
That should be the benchmark, because 0.01,
I mean, it's not that much of a difference.
the sense is not making sense.
No, it's not. But
because it.
do you even want to understand it? Because I don't.
I didn't, because it wasn't just Lewis. George got it.
Yeah.
I think Colapinto got it. I remember there was a lot of drivers that got this penalty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the first time I'm seeing so many drivers get penalized for
Back to
speeding.
back.
And it was back to back. It was almost back to back. I was like, that's all I have to say. I was just mind blown, because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. At first I got really annoyed. I was like,
Yeah.
how can he be speeding in the pit lane? What a rookie mistake. And then when I saw everybody get it, I'm like, wait, hold up.
Maybe they were just being really strict as well.
Yeah, I feel like they were being a bit too strict. I get it, you need to slow down.
There's a word for it, but we can't say
I can't. Yeah. I get that you do need to slow down in the pit lanes. Safety wise, I get it. So there's no unsafe release by any other driver. I get that. I completely get that. But at the same time, I feel like they should be that plus minus.
Yeah.
You know, like that leeway a little bit. Nobody's saying go up to 65 kilometers per hour. It should be a plus minus of 1, 2 kind of a thing. So that was enough. That's also why it made Monaco very entertaining. I was just like, do you know that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like throwing money from
penalty.
Wolf of Wall Street penalties? I was just thinking that the whole time. I will try to find that and insert here somewhere here in this video.
God.
But that was how
That
I
was so
felt. It
true.
was so funny. But overall, I really did enjoy the Monaco GP.
It was. The second half was entertaining.
It was
Not
very
gonna lie, You were
entertaining.
yawning the first half. You're like,
Yeah, I was
it's gonna
like,
get better.
okay, does it? And then after the moment I said it, they were like, everything just unfolded. I was like, oh, okay, now you have me set.
Yes, we were both set.
Very much.
Well, definitely an entertaining race for the Monaco Grand Prix. We do have the final standings with the official top 5 being Kimi Antonelli. We have Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, followed by Isaac Hadjar and Oscar Piastri on the top 5. So, I do have a hot take though. Antonelli didn't just win. He became the youngest ever winner in Monaco history.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so nice.
The youngest ever. I mean, Verstappen's title defense is definitely still on my support, but Antonelli securing his win in Monaco and being the youngest ever, I just feel like he might be one of the greats behind Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis also
Lewis actually equaled Senna's amount of podiums this weekend in Monaco. Both of them are equal now at 8. So It's like the two of them just are like, they're really
Side by side.
side by side
And then we
doing
have
it.
Antonelli slowly.
Yeah, I feel like Antonelli is gonna. I really have hopes for Antonelli, and I just can't wait to see what he's gonna do throughout this year and in the seasons to come.
I mean, he's still very, very young, and
Yes.
even when Hamilton started off, nobody saw it coming,
Yeah.
but it never stopped. So I feel like Antonelli might be on the same route as Hamilton. Now, the question that I have,
Hold on, I do want to mention another thing
Yeah.
that we have might forgotten.
yes,
Both the Visa Cash app
right,
made it into points.
did.
I was like, yes,
you did.
because I've been very open and I openly said that besides Kimi Antonelli,
Yeah.
it is Arvid for me.
Yeah,
I see him having so much potential, and to see them both in points,
perhaps in his second year. I mean, it is his first year.
it is his first year. You never know. We look at Kimi in his second year.
Mhm.
You never know what could happen with Arvid in his second year.
You never know. All good things happen in your second year. I
Yeah.
guess. For,
It is proven.
for some drivers.
For some drivers.
But my question is, now that Kimi Antonelli is leading the championship, right? We have Lewis Hamilton at second. Do you think Red Bull and Ferrari can sort of pull themselves together and have a comeback in the next upcoming races?
I think if they bring more upgrades, they definitely can. Because we do know that there was something, you see, I don't remember the entire thing, but I know that there was some form of innovation that was on the Mercedes that prior to this, the FIA said that only in June they were going to have a legal check to see if it's still legal, and
Yeah.
they marked it as illegal. And due to that, again guys, I don't remember the direct specifics,
That's
but
alright.
I know roughly.
Yeah.
Because they had marked that particular innovation as illegal, the Mercedes were going to lose out about, I think, 3/10
Yeah.
per lap,
3 times of lap.
okay, per lap during the race. But even with that now being marked as illegal, Kimi Antonelli still won.
He did.
He by a margin. Yeah, I know Monaco, you can't really have that big of a gap.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's a street circuit.
Yeah.
But he still did win. The beginning, at the beginning of the race and at the restart, he still pulled away from Lewis.
He did.
And I think at the very end, he and Lewis had about 6 to 7 seconds gap.
Yeah.
That's a very
Big gap.
big gap
Big
for
gap.
a street circuit that has turns and all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like to some point it also boils down to the driver. And the way it's looking at the moment, Kimi is a very talented driver and he really
Phenomenal.
has it.
He does.
So if the Red Bulls, the Ferraris, even the Mercedes are going to try to challenge the Mercedes, I'm saying, sorry, I meant the McLarens.
McLaren.
Ferrari, Red Bull, McLarens. If they want to challenge the Mercedes, they're going to have to really bring solid upgrades
I agree.
to basically make a rocket ship at this point, because that's what's underneath the damn Mercedes at
Yes.
this point. I mean, y'all saw Louis doing 180 inspection. Like,
inspection.
what's happening here? I need to understand. That was hilarious,
Yeah.
but that's what they're gonna have to do.
That's a great take, Anj. I feel like, yes, we're already halfway through the year. Couple of races left. You never know what could take place in this upcoming races that we have. So do let us know your thoughts on what you think might be a possible comeback for Red Bull and Ferrari in the next upcoming Barcelona Grand Prix. Could they make a comeback?
Could McLaren also make a possible comeback? You see, now that I've said it twice, we never know what might happen on race day.
No.
So we never know. Let's see at the Barcelona GP this weekend.
Well, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts down below. Barcelona GP, let's go. Bye.
This phone died. I didn't even look at it. I didn't look at anything on the thing.